You ever feel like you're stuck on a hamster wheel of learning? You watch all the videos, you do all the courses, but you never actually do the thing? Well, today we're talking about how to break out of what people call tutorial hell. And let's just kick things off with this. From our source material, this is a confession that is just so honest, and I bet it feels super familiar to a lot of you. It's that feeling of being totally prepared, but also completely paralyzed. And we're not talking about just skimming a few articles here. Nope. This was a serious deep dive. We're talking over 100 hours of tutorials, books, and courses. A huge investment of time. So what was the result of all that learning, all that input? A big, fat zero in terms of actual output. Not a single campaign went live. This right here is the absolute definition of tutorial hell. So what's really going on? I mean, why would someone with all this knowledge just stop? Well, it all comes down to that little voice in your head, that internal monologue that just plays on a loop. You could call it the inner critic script. And what's on that script? Oh, you know the lines. It's that nagging voice whispering, "You're not quite ready yet. Just one more tutorial." Or maybe, "Who do you think you are trying to charge money for this?" And then there's the big one, the real knockout punch. What if you're just a total fraud? Yeah, I'm guessing for a lot of you that hits pretty close to home. That's imposter syndrome, and it is powerful enough to keep even the most brilliant people completely frozen. But look, getting stuck is not the end of the road. The real turning point happens when you make a critical shift in perspective. When you move away from all that fear and just look at the simple reality of how things actually get done. This is where we break it down. See, our fear tells us that all the experts out there are perfect and that the tools they use are basically magic. But the reality? It's way messier. Those experts, they failed a lot on their way to success. And those magic tools, they're totally useless without data. Data you can only get from, you guessed it, doing the work. And this right here, this is the light bulb moment. That little voice saying, "I'm not ready," isn't trying to protect you. It's not you being a perfectionist. It's just good old-fashioned procrastination wearing a really convincing disguise. That fear isn't keeping you safe. It's just keeping you stuck. So once you see that fear for what it really is, the path forward becomes clear. You have to make a choice, a real commitment to shift gears from just passively learning to actively doing. And here is the actual tangible plan. This isn't just theory, it's a 30-day challenge. First, reach out to 10 small businesses. Second, just run the campaign, warts and all. Third, and this is key, document everything, the good and the bad. And fourth, you gotta start rewiring your brain. That fourth step might just be the most important part of the whole thing. It's about consciously catching that inner critic's voice when it says, "I'm not ready," and immediately replacing it with something way more empowering. "I'll figure it out." It's not about having all the answers, it's about having faith that you can find them. Okay, so we've walked through this entire journey from being paralyzed by fear to finally taking action. Now, the spotlight isn't on the author anymore, it's on you, because these lessons apply to everyone. Let's be honest, all those courses and books are amazing, but if you never apply what you learn, what is it really? It's just a hobby, a really time-consuming and probably expensive form of entertainment, not growth. And here is the big secret, the one thing that truly separates the doers from the dreamers. Nobody, and I mean nobody, ever truly feels ready. The people you admire didn't wait for some magic feeling of confidence to appear. They felt the fear, they felt the doubt, and they started anyway. So I'm going to leave you with the same question our source material leaves us with. Think about that skill, that project, that thing you've been learning about for weeks, months, maybe even years. What is the one single, tiny action you can take to move from learning to doing? Because that one little step is everything.